Just in time. Just. That was a rush. But done. Done. Welcome back. Thank you, Jasmine. You're staying up for this one as well, huh? Perfect timing. I know, right? Kind of glad they did the sippy towel because that takes a little bit more time, aside from the fact that it looks cool. Yeah, it just gave me an extra minute or two. We are back. Jasmine's going to try to stay up. This is the latest game that we've had here in New Zealand. 11:30 as the kickoff. Superman quick costume change. Yeah, I didn't have time to get out of the England gear. It was England for the review, and let's go for the next one. Jaco Piper is the ref. This is a key game in this pool. Scotland and Ireland will be watching this one. Probably wishing the Samoans pretty well. Who am I picking for this one? I picked Japan as well. I think I picked them relatively comfortable. Ripsy, you weren't here for the last one. How's it going, man? Last 30 minutes of my birthday. Yeah, you're right, man. All right. This could be the game of the night. You picked Japan by 5. I feel like I picked Japan by a fair bit. I think I picked them by more like 20, which may have been optimistic. Should New Zealand get an extra point when they do the haka? No, they shouldn't. My game is at 49 seconds, just FYI, for where you guys are at. I was in a pub with a Pommy mate and we watched the Wallabies, then England. Come home now for this one. That makes sense. Well, you got an Aussie in the Japanese team. Man, Japan with a bit of space early, but the Samoan defense is holding. Japan have surprised me with how good they've been, says Joe. I think Japan have surprised a lot of people. Oh, man. Japan almost had a chance there with a little chip kick from Tamura. Lafaele, I think, was the one who dropped it. I didn't get to watch the Australia-Uruguay game, even though the Wallabies won. Australia played. No, Australia didn't play that bad. I think people just don't give Uruguay enough credit. Australia played okay. They had some mistakes. They could have won by more. But I think what team at this World Cup has played a full-on sharp, maybe Ireland against Scotland? That was Ireland being totally on point. Yeah, for the most part, nobody's been that sharp. I don't see Japan as a tier 2 nation. How does the tier even work? Is it because you're playing in a Six Nations or Rugby Championship that makes you tier 1? Some epic stadiums in Japan. That's true, and the attendance has been phenomenal. Australia is giving away 2 cards. Yeah, the first half for Australia was pretty disappointing. The tackling technique was bad, was legit bad. But the way they knuckled down in the second half, I think, is fine work, man. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it means. Yeah, which is kind of rubbish as a way of assigning that as their kind of tier status. Anyway, Japan have kicked the penalty on 3 minutes to make it a 3-0 lead. I need to write clearer with my handwriting because otherwise I get stumped on my reviews. I think the only way Scotland can get into the quarters is if Japan lose to Samoa. Is that right? Because what happens if Scotland beat Japan? Then all the three teams have had one loss. I'll have to look at the table. Prediction: Japan 28, Samoa 12. It will be cool to have Japan and Fiji in the Rugby Championship. I do like the idea that the teams don't have to play each other twice in the Rugby Championship because I feel like that's what gives the All Blacks the advantage. It's pretty hard to beat the All Blacks twice in a row. I've mentioned this before. The Six Nations, I think, is kind of more open because you only have to play each team once. But I think it may not be such a problem for New Zealand, but I think Australia likes having at least one All Blacks game in Australia every year because that's a bunch of ticket sales. Likewise in South Africa, I think the All Blacks like being able to sell out Eden Park for the Wallabies and for South Africa. But if you put Fiji, what was that try time? Oh, tackle to stop Lemeki from getting a try and a turnover. Wow, Samoan defense, phenomenal. But yeah, I'm not sure if they would draw the crowds, Fiji and Japan, when they were the away team. So there may be some reluctance financially. Scotland still need to play Russia. They should win that one. The Japan-Scotland will be one to watch. Yeah, I feel like it could go down to like points scored or who beat who or all that kind of stuff. Remember when Georgia and Romania were decent at rugby? Japan and Fiji seem to have overtaken them. How do I give you money without giving 30% to YouTube? I don't want them to get £300,000. What? The main platform that doesn't take so much of a cut is Patreon, and they take like 5%, but they don't do one-off donations as far as I know. Someone told me I need to open an account for just PayPal transfers, but that's all quite new to me. Mark blocked Penny. Yeah, I did, because I know what some of those words mean, and that's nasty, so I blocked them. Hey, Lord of the Gings, is it Gings or Ginge? Ginge is here. How's work at Spark going, man? Yosaya is back as well. I want Japan to top their pool so we don't have to face them. That's an interesting thing. Japan by 50. That would be impressive. England top is looking good too. Since you know what? Japan's kicked another penalty. I've mentioned this once before, and I don't know why it's a thing. But there's generally the feeling amongst rugby nations is you don't like England to win. Right? I've mentioned this before. There's always teams in every sport that everyone's like, they're the baddies. England kind of get that baddies vibe, right? So when I got sent this jersey, I kind of was a little bit like, how is this going to feel? Honestly, it's a bloody nice jersey. It's comfy as. Super comfy. It fits like a glove, and the fabric is so nice. Yeah. I hate the England shirt, but it's so comfortable. Honestly. Japan are going to play the All Blacks in the quarters. They won't have a chance, but can you imagine their own cup? I know, right? Oh, Lord of the Gings. That makes sense. Yes, you're right. There is a picture of Gollum. It's so small on my screen, I never noticed. Right, Samoa lining up a kick a goal. I didn't know Taifu was the guy to kick, but that's interesting. Just got here. What am I wearing? I'm wearing the shirt of the team that just won their game. Nice kick, Samoa. Taifu. Exchanging penalties. That was a really nice kick, by the way. Who's winning? It's 6-3 to Japan after 10 minutes. No red cards in this game so far. Hooray. If the Wallabies beat England in the quarters, you gotta put that super comfy England jersey in a super comfy wood chipper. I might have to get myself another Wallabies jersey at some point. As an Ireland fan, I will never forgive the Japanese. April says, take the shirt off now. And yet April's the same person who told me not to get naked. So, mixed messages, April. Very mixed messages. Japan versus Scotland will decide Pool A. Yeah, I think it will decide whether one team goes through unbeaten or whether multiple teams finish with a 3-1 record. What do you think of Japan's decision to keep Lapis Labuskakni on the field despite the claim that Leach is the team captain, as the on-field captain? Yeah, it's an interesting one. When I saw Leach was starting and that Labuskakni was captain, I felt that was bizarre. But I guess Jamie Joseph's happy with the job that Lapis is doing, so don't change it if it ain't broken. I was just about to leave seeing that shirt. But it's comfortable. Farrell kicked badly before the high tackle. Indeed, but it probably didn't do him any help either. Left comment on your previous video. I thought you're going to sleep. No rest for the wicked, man. There's rugby on. It's an important game. I want to see how it goes. I just realized to replace it off camera. Whoa. That is a messy scrum. And Samoa just won a big scrum penalty. Important. Didn't have time to change to a different shirt. I generally go with a neutral shirt for the videos. This one's a neutral shirt, so it's nothing wrong with it, right? South Africa's players are taking Japan to the quarters. How many South Africans are playing in that Japanese side? I know Van der Walt, Labuskakni. If the shirt's so comfortable, why the hat? The hat matches the shirt, man. Can't have one without the other. Everyone's hating on England again. I'm a nice English person, though I consider myself British, as I hate our government. It's just the rugby team, I tell you, Charlotte. If this was a cricket channel and I was wearing Aussie gear, I think it would be the same reaction. Are you going to stream tomorrow, please, too? There's 2 games on tomorrow from memory. I believe one of them is quite early. And one of them is late. Oh, not too late. I definitely won't be streaming New Zealand because it's 5:45 against Namibia. That's way too early. My kids will be running around like mad chooks. France Tonga at 8:45 should be good to go. Good morning from Greenland. Greenland? No way. That'll be a first. That would be a first. Chris Arena, I've seen your comment and it makes me laugh. Please take a shower after wearing that jersey. But it's so nice, I'm telling you. Get one for yourself. 10% off. Look at my England review for the Argentina game. There's a discount code for the England Rugby store. 10% off England gear. Just try it for yourself. You might actually end up liking it. You'd like to see my kids running around. My daughter, who's 1, like she doesn't know. She has no understanding of what computers are or what they do, but she knows they have buttons, and she just wants to bash the buttons. So the stream may not last long if she was doing that. Kiwi in Byron Bay, Australia. G'day, mate. I want a blimmin' Black Ferns jersey. I know. I should get myself a Black Ferns one too. I need to watch more of the Black Ferns, to be honest. Second attempt at goal for Samoa after 15 minutes. Smashes it straight down the middle. Good stuff, Samoa. They're keeping this game in touch. The Englishness of the jersey is colonizing his brain. It's too late for him. Anyway, it's a nice jersey. How are those swimming classes this morning? My son listened to the teacher very well. Usually he just likes to dunk himself under the water repeatedly, again and again and again. Like when he was a baby and I used to dunk him under the water, he would cry like a madman. Now he just dunk, dunk, dunk. He's like an Oreo going to a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or something, man. He's nuts, but sometimes to the detriment of actually the point of the class. So he listened to the teacher pretty well, and he's done so the last couple of weeks. Whoa, Matsushima is again looking very dangerous. Big line break, but eventually caught. And my daughter's class was after that one, and she also had a ball. She loves going in the water. Aren't Canterbury a Kiwi company? Are you getting paid to wear that? No, not at all. Adidas, a horrible sponsor. Seriously, I talked to communications head of New Zealand Rugby. They want it. It's Adidas. I'm kind of not surprised. I feel like Canterbury is probably a better company than Adidas, but that's just a New Zealand bias. He's like a Tim Tam and Milo. He is, man. He's nuts. He just likes dunking himself under the water. I don't know what he's doing under there. Like today, my wife looked up at one point and was like, hey, where is he? And I was like, he's over there. He's under the water. Your son sounds great. No, the point of the class is enjoying his swimming. My son used to climb in and jump repeatedly. I don't mind him having fun, but he still needs to at least pay loose attention to the teacher. Well, let's give her a bit of face, man. Learn something. Like sometimes I'll take him to the pool without the swimming class and just let him go mad. Like, and again, he does what your kid does, Charlotte. He just Climbs out, jumps in. Climbs out, jumps in. He can do it 100 times. Said that one of the Samoan brothers, Mana Tulangi, is playing for Japan. He plays for England. Rafaeli plays for Japan, but I'm not actually, I don't recall where he was born. I think he might have even been born in New Zealand. Samoa aren't getting much territory on these kicks. That's a good point. They're getting the penalties, but they need to chew off more meters. But the Samoans are fired up. I'm loving this so far. 6-all, 19 minutes, no red cards. Penalties going both ways. Some line breaks, some good line, like desperate defense. This game is worth staying up till 11:34. What country am I drinking today? I just finished off Australia. Well, actually, when I say finished off, I've still got half a glass. Love the channel from Namibia. Big game tomorrow, mate. And I still have some Samoa left. That's unopened. And I still have a Japan. That was in the new box. So we'll see how I'm feeling later. Wife is looking at my beer in disgust. Your wife is hilarious. Wasn't he born in Australia? Might have been. How many beers is that now? I've only had 2. And I was doing a 2-hour stream, so I feel like a beer an hour is... That's okay, right? That's not... My wife actually asked me about that. She said, are you okay to drink that many beers? And I was like, a beer an hour is not too bad. Looks like Heineken. Yuck. It is Heineken, but it's only because Heineken are the sponsors. Look, all the bottles have countries on them. I didn't even finish that Australia one. And you get a chance to win a trip to the Rugby World Cup final. So it's worth it. A beer an hour is low. Exactly, right? It's acceptable behavior. I can hear my daughter coughing in the other room. Hopefully she's still asleep and just having a wee cough. Man, Lemeki is just gaining yards every time he gets the ball. That being said, Samoa has just won a turnover. They need to exit their own 22 pretty quick smart. Decent kick, and they're not going to take it quickly. Last 5 minutes of your birthday, do something sporadic. Sporadic, he says. Do you guys know what this is? Anybody tried this? Today is his birthday. Yes, today is my birthday. It is the last 5 minutes of my birthday. Same. You mean it's your birthday as well? No way. Lemon and Pyro. That is exactly correct. Gold star. This game is still very intense. This time Japan has just got advantage. Oh, and they've knocked it on. What country would you like to see at the next World Cup that hasn't qualified before? Germany? Hong Kong? No, Hong Kong is not a country in the political sense, but in the rugby sense, I believe they are. Yeah, I'm totally ignoring the fact that you're asking me to do the haka because that ain't gonna happen. I'm not in any. Yeah, you need to learn to do the haka. I've never done couple haka, so nope. Still 3 hours of your birthday in Australia. Yeah, man. If I was in Fiji, I'm sure I'd have much more birthday to go. Brazil would be good. True enough. Saw as a screen. What does that mean? Tamura is lining up a penalty for those of you still paying attention to the game. I don't know what I was expecting from this game, but a penalty kickoff definitely wasn't it, says Rubsy. Both sides want to win. I guess that's a good sign of respect for Samoa from Japan that they are taking every opportunity to accumulate points. Back in front. Spain is the highest in the rankings. Yeah, Spain, I would take Spain for sure. The score is 9 points to 6 in favor of Japan after 24 minutes. John King. Thinking you need to get a Samoan shirt on, Mark. I know John would like to see a Samoan victory here. How about I open this one, eh? John, as a start, I'll open the Samoa instead of the Japan. Uh-oh. 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 We're looking at something with the TMO. Foul play. Oh, no. Is it TJ Iwane? What's going on? It is TJ, isn't it? He put him on his butt. He probably needed to pull out of that because the ball looked to be pretty long gone. Also, cheers, John. Also for the tip, man. That's awesome. The All Blacks have never lost to Wales, Japan, or Tonga ever. Yeah, and professionally, we've definitely lost to Wales, but it's a long time ago. That's TJ, eh? Man. Unfortunate. 1953. There you go. So my dad was born, but my mum was not born. So many cards at this World Cup. Yeah. Had to be yellow, late, no arms. Yeah, I think I know the Samoan coach is doing a sarcastic clap there. But yeah, you can't do that kind of stuff, man. Like, you can make contact, but you need to be seen to at least be pulling out of it. He seemed to push into it, if anything. So, Yeah. Cheers, John. See that. Are you watching on Spark? I am watching on Spark. I am indeed. Nine 6 to Japan after 25 minutes. Samoa have just had a yellow card for a late shot, but Japan haven't been able to do anything with it as yet. Go Spark. Yeah, man, they've been, like, for mine, pretty good. Like, barring a couple of buffering things and the 30-odd second minute delay, been all good. But you would think from the media coverage, you'd think that they murdered someone with how it's being covered. Like Sparks just stuffing everything up. Like, yeah, it's a bit harsh. There was a penalty, but that should be the ref calling for the game, not the stop TMO. Power away. Got stopped because of the TMO. True, they should let the game go. I'm a Samoan supporter, agree to yellow. My frustration is far more common and they're only targeting. I kind of agree with that, man. They do seem to pick on some more than others. I think we saw that with the Karevi thing with the Wallabies, right? They noticed that Karevi kind of led with his forearms in that game against Wales. And then people snapped like multiple other issues with people doing the same thing in other games and nobody gets called on it. So, yeah. Loudest 1%, unfortunately. I kind of get that feeling. Like sometimes I'll be scrolling through the comments of my videos and it's like cool comment, stuff which is adding value. People adding like say thank you, or they're like giving more information and it's cool. And then you read one comment from some prick, which is just like someone who hasn't watched it and just said something stupid, and you focus on that one comment. It's just a thing. It's just human nature. So I guess we like to focus on the negative. It's unfortunate. Japan surely score here. Is that Lafayette? They're going to have a look, surely. That's Leach with the turnover. Somebody mentioned that. Matsushima, few little steps. Wasn't held. If his legs were on the ground, they probably should have let go of that, though, right? I don't know. Do you think England are doing enough to win the cup? You'd have to say England look like one of the better teams at this point, right? They've controlled every game they've been in. The crowd is going off, and rightly so, Jasmine. Who do you think should replace Itzebeth if he gets sent home? Hopefully he doesn't get sent home. Who's next in the pecking order for the Springboks in the second row? I feel like they might even take another Lucy and just put Peter Stefan, because they've already got Snyman, Dayaka, and Mostert there. Right, 16-6 with the conversion, and that is like 20, 29, 30 minutes gone. While it's a bit percent home, there's some case back in South Africa where they're claiming that he like I think it was racially abused. Some people, I don't know. I haven't read too much on the details of it. But he is being charged with something, so he may end up getting sent home if he's got a case to answer. Marvin Ori, Marvin Ori is if you're going to go for a lock, then Marvin Ori is a good man to have for sure. Bring back Matt Field. Nah, Matt Field's getting a bit old. He played at the last World Cup, and even that was probably a bridge too far. Elstad as well, that's true. But I mean, the fact that you've got Mostert, Sneeman, Itzebeth, and Diaka, seriously, you can lose one and the squad is not really affected that badly, because that's more than most squads can boast in their starting two. Peter Steph can also do lock. Exactly. So I feel like you may be calling another Lucy like Reinhard Elstad and just get Peter Steph to cover. I'm off at halftime. My boys are having their birthday party and I need sleep. I can understand, man. I can understand. Who do you see winning the game right now? Probably Japan, but Samoa are definitely keeping it interesting. He's on his way back to South Africa right now? No way. Whoa, that was a big miss from the Samoan kicker. But again, it ate up a minute of the clock for the yellow card. What's the score? It's 16-6 to Japan after 32 minutes. One of the Samoan guys is down. Is that Nana Williams? Elizabeth is not going back to South Africa. The accuser wants 1 million rand, so it's all about money. Oh, no. He's back up. That's good. Which part of NZ are you streaming? I'm streaming from Auckland, if that makes sense. Is that Lapi's late shot on Nana Williams? Oh, no, it's more. That's one that was it Courtney Laws got penalised for something similar in the last game? Eben won't get sent back. If he gets sent back and found not guilty, he can take South Africa rugby to the cleaners if he has a contract. Okay. South Africa Human Rights Provincial Commissioner Chris Nissen says they are not pushing for Eben Etzebeth to return prematurely from the World Cup. Okay. I think get the rugby stuff done. Amanaki Mafi has got assault charges and he's still playing the Rugby World Cup. That case is on hold. He has been charged in South African courts, want him back in South Africa. You kidding? You saw the footage down to recall the start that Japanese guys mid-air charged down. I know. Yeah. Once you're charging a guy down, you cannot change direction. You're committed. I feel like some of that stuff does get a bit ridiculous, but I guess by the letter of the law, you are not supposed to put yourself in a position where you can do that kind of damage. I don't know, man. It just seemed a bit soft. Just got here. What's the score? It's 16 points to 6 in favor of Japan. Samoa have a guy in the bin at the moment. Who has the ball? Taifu is lining up a penalty shot 41 meters out. By the letter of the law, show the damn footage before the bloke jumps. Yeah, true. I'm with you, man. I know what you mean. What a kick. Taifu just nailed that. That was a long distance penalty. So now it's 16 points to 9. And that makes the yellow card period 7-3. So Samoa is coming out not too bad from this time with the guy in the bin. Why do people ask stupid questions, Jasmine? What silly questions are people asking? Samoa winning. Nope, Samoa are losing at the moment. Got your Spark Sports stream up. Nice one, man. How many yards was that kick? I said 41 meters, so whatever that is in yards. Bounce back from the miss for sure. His other kick, the previous one, was a shocker. Are you no longer showing the current score on the whiteboard anymore? The whiteboard's over there, and it's a kind of a pain in the butt to fold it down, so not at the minute. I could always get the other whiteboard. I'll think about it. The other whiteboard's not on a stand. We do talk about quite a wide range of topics, to be fair. It is true. We've talked about Peppa Pig, beer, and children's swimming lessons, and all kinds of stuff. But again, I guess it's just like it's hanging out with your mates, isn't it? You don't always just talk about the game. You talk about all the stuff that's going on. And you're right. RWC 15B15 again. Do you ever use ITV Hub? Not when I'm streaming on here, but I do. Because they've got different coverage from what Spark's got, so they've all got different stuff. Are you wearing the Union Jack boxer shorts as well? No, I don't own any Union Jack boxer shorts. It's unfortunate. Get the whiteboard. Maybe another time. The other whiteboard is in the room where the 1-year-old is sleeping. And if you think I'm going to take a risk going into the room with the 1-year-old sleeping, you got another thing coming. That's like playing with fire. 2 cents live stream, I know, right? I wonder why the ref and Japan's captain don't speak Afrikaans to each other. I've noticed even the French refs, when they've got a French assistant ref, they also speak English to each other. There seems to be like a policy. Like sometimes if I'm watching like one of the November tests or something, if it's a French ref and a French AR, they'll speak in French and then they'll get on with the decision. But at the World Cup, it seems to be all English. Mark, did you have a Scotland top and a Glasgow Warriors top? Yes, I have both. But the Glasgow top I have is last season's one, so it's got the old logo, not the new logo. Mark started the YouTube channel for the love of beer. Not quite. But I do like a good beer every now and again. We were debating this yesterday, whether I'm technically drinking alone, because I don't like to usually drink alone. But I am drinking in this room by myself, just with you guys here. Out on the full, just. What's happening? Samoa are going to have an attacking line out, not too deep into Japan's half, because Japan just kicked it out on the full. Apart from 2 cents and Squid Rugby, there's also G-Man. He is very good. There is Unbiased Rugby. He's another South African. There's the Imbiber. He does Japan content. Driving Mall does heaps of Mitre 10 Cup stuff here in New Zealand. He's a Brit. There's more. That's just me off the top of my head. Yeah, my coverage is a bit delayed. Spark seems to be 35 seconds to a minute behind everyone else. Oh, 1014, sorry. Yeah, come. The 1014 is not really on YouTube anymore, though. It's kind of like professional. It's on Spark Sport for the most part. The Japanese guy who always paints the jersey on himself has been spotted by the camera. It's 16 points to 9, and it's just about to hit halftime. Oh, off the ball for sure. But again, off the ball is kind of a pro one. That's like, former players. It's like Alan Quinlan and Ron Nagara, Johnny Sexton, all those guys get interviewed. But off the ball is quality. Can you get 10-14 in the UK? Off the ball is the worst. Those guys are horrible. Really? I think they're funny. ITV content is quite a bit behind. Is that right? I tried most, but 2 cents is the man. I have limited time, so I only watch 2 cents vids. Appreciate that, man. I do put out a fair few vids, to be fair. You should get another Wallabies jersey. I should. The painted shirt guy is teleporting everywhere. Yeah, he does seem to go to a lot of games. He must have taken a fair bit of time off his job as well. What is the painted shirt guy wearing today? He's wearing Japanese colors. Okay, night, Mr. Lord of the Gings. Enjoy the birthday party with the kids tomorrow. Bucksan equals painted shirt guy. That's true. It is halftime. Yeah, it's 16-9 at halftime. 16-9. Why don't you have a Springbok jersey? Man, I got two Springbok jerseys. That's more than I have All Blacks jerseys. I've only got one All Blacks jersey. I got 2 Sharks jerseys, 2 Blues jerseys. No, 3 Blues jerseys. Actually, that's the most. I got 3 Blues jerseys. I've only got 1 AB's jersey. Why did Tim go for an HO? I missed whatever happened with that. I just saw him going off. And Fonatia came on. The French are not rude to English speakers, but depending on where you go, they don't always speak fluent English. I like to think that if I was going to France, I would at least try to make an effort to speak French, or any country that I was visiting that doesn't speak English as a first language. What's the time in New Zealand? It is 12:21 a.m. I want an All Blacks jersey from Ask One for your birthday. That's a good idea. To be fair, English sucks to learn as a second language. It's not too bad. We do have a lot of verbs which kind of are irregular, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but not too bad. Some funny pronunciations and spellings, but yeah. French is fairly easy as an English speaker, and the French are pretty good at understanding crappy tourist French. I'll bet. Well, in France, English isn't always their second language, it's often their third one. Yeah. I mean, I speak a second language, and for my mates here in New Zealand, that's kind of like amazing that you speak a second language. But I remember meeting a girl from Germany, and she spoke like 7 languages, and it put me to shame. Totally put me to shame. Liam is finally back with his beer. Geez, that took a while. Where did he go for his beer, April? My husband is Dutch and his English grammar is better than most native English speakers. Granted, he has lived here for over 30 years. True. Have I been to the UK or Scotland? Never. Never been to Europe, period. South Africa has 11 official languages. 11. Afrikaans, English, Xhosa. I'm way behind. What are the other ones? I remember getting a few drinks with some Norwegian relatives and them laughing their asses off at how bad English speakers are at spelling their own language. True. Oh, Zulu as well. Yes, good point. That's a bad miss. If Tim went off for HA, that shows he was hit in the head. Yeah, although Owen Farrell was hit in the head in the last game, he didn't go off. Scandinavians have perfect English. I once asked a Scandinavian about that when I was in China. I asked this girl why all the Scandinavian countries seem to have such good English, and she said they don't dub any of their shows into their like native language. So if you're in Sweden, if you're watching, I don't know, what's a TV show, The Big Bang Theory, it's in English. It's not in Swedish. They don't dub it. So if you want to watch popular shows, especially cartoons as a kid, you got to watch them in English. So that makes you learn. It kind of forces it. That was her take on it anyway. To the proper beer shop up the road. He got a strange one today. Sometimes I do that as well. I go to the beer shop and just buy some random beer I've never heard of just to try it. There's an IPA called Soccer is Popular. Well, soccer is popular. Mark, are you tired? You look like me after a 65-hour work week. I mean, it's almost 12:30, so I'm feeling a wee bit weary. The eyes are getting a wee bit heavy, but it's worth it. Son's girlfriend is Swedish, and she says just that. There you go. There must be something to it. Like when I was in China, any popular TV show, be it a children's cartoon or popular Hollywood movie, whatever, it's dubbed into Chinese. So Chinese voice actors record over, so you just watch it in Chinese. So, you just stick in your own language. We're in Sweden and whatnot. They don't do that. In Norway, they are constantly exposed to English, German, and other Scandinavian language. Danish is pretty similar, so they pick it up easily, but they have so much exposure they just pick it up. Yeah. Have I been to Samoa? No. The list of countries I've been to is very few. I'm trying to find the halftime stats for this game. Can you speak Chinese for us? Well, you're not going to understand me. Some people have typed Chinese into the chat, but it's hard for me to read because it's small on my screen and my eyes are heavy. I literally can't stand watching dubbed shows the way the mouths don't match the sound. I agree with you 100%. Halftime stats. Run meters, 275 Japan, 128 Samoa. Possession, 51-49, very even. Territory, 57-43 to Japan, so kind of in their favor. Tackling percentage, Japan, 89%, Samoa, 65. That is remarkably low. Penalties conceded, 6 to Japan, 5 to Samoa. Samoa's only made 65% of the tackles, but they're making the ones that really count. I guess you could make Chinese noises and you wouldn't even know. Bendan. Yeah, I know what bendan means, that's for sure. I will tell you one thing if you want to know. In China, dogs don't say woof woof, they say wang wang. Wang 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 wang. There you go. Cats still say meow. Sheep still say ba. But some of the animal noises that they make, at least when people say what their animals sound like, they are different. Dog saying wang is the one that comes to my mind. My dog says wun wun. I guess he's Chinese. There you go. There you go. What did you think of the AB's 2007 Rugby World Cup jersey, the grey one? The grey one was pretty terrible. And I mentioned on the previous stream about how the French let us wear the black jersey for the 2011 Rugby World Cup final because apparently they won the toss to decide which jersey to wear. Can't help but wonder if playing in that non-black jersey makes us play slightly worse. I asked my dog if he's Chinese. He walked off. Don't blame him. What jersey do you still want? Oh, man, a lot. There's a lot. But I've kind of taken it easy on the jerseys for a wee bit. I haven't bought any for quite a while. Maybe you need to ask your dog if he's in. If you're gonna ask your dog if he's Chinese, maybe you need to ask him in Chinese. He missed the long sleeve shirts. True. Are you disappointed with any team's performances this World Cup? Well, you'd have to say Ireland's performance against Japan was pretty average. That's the one that strikes me off the top of my head. But again, I don't know. France against the USA was kind of far from convincing. No team's really been playing a full 80 minutes all game every game. It's just been patchy. How do I ask my dog if he's Chinese in Chinese? You're trying to get me to speak Chinese. We made them look average. That's a good point. I mean, the 10-14 have only done 2 of their tactical analysis videos on Spark Sport. One All Blacks against South Africa, and won Ireland against Japan. And a lot of their points was Ireland always do this, Japan did that to counter it. So Jamie Joseph had them worked out, basically. Where do you get the rugby flags? They've pretty much all been sent to me by people. What did you do in China, man? I was teaching. Pretty cruisy job. Favorite language faux pas? London Tube was too Afrikaners, too stereotypical. Okay. I don't speak Afrikaans. The girls. Okay. Cool. I was wearing that jersey 3 hours ago. Ah, true. Yeah, the first one. Second one to say it looks good. Everyone else says it looks bad. Are you starting to feel famous since this channel? Not really. One guy asked me for a selfie. That's about it. Bad, I know. The England jersey got a bit of hate when I first started the stream, believe it or not. From the UK, summer is coming for you Southern Hemisphere guys. Make sure... yeah, don't have one, so I don't need to worry about that. Have you had any offers to appear on TV? I got an email like 6 months ago saying, hey, are you going to the Rugby World Cup? Do you want to appear on one of our daily shows? And I said, I'm not going. And they said, oh, that's cool. Maybe we can work on something with you in New Zealand. And I never heard anything again. But yeah, I've seen a few of the daily shows. Like Squidge has been on one of the daily shows. So yeah, be good if you're in Japan. If I see you on the street, I will legit pretend I'm the fan of a rock star and start screaming for laughs. That would be awkward. If your goal was to make me feel awkward, you would succeed. Said it before, said it again. You should be here. I know I should be in Japan for the Rugby World Cup. That was the plan a few years ago, and then I had a couple of kids. So couldn't abandon my children at this young age. Take you for a beer after that. Okay, if you're going to buy me a beer, then that's all worth it. Second half should be good, what we've seen. Rugby dad would abandon the kids. Nice. If I ever see you in a shop in Port Elizabeth, I'll ask you for a selfie. Okay, if I'm ever in Port Elizabeth, I'll keep an eye out. There's a girl that went to school with that hated rugby. Today she's got a job at Supersport as a presenter. Is currently touring Japan. I would do anything for that job. That's funny how that works, eh? Take your family to France for the next World Cup. Yeah, I have to save my pennies. Come to Mangere. Mangere is across the bridge from me, man. I go there. I go to Ambry Farm with the kids. That's where I go instead of Japan to the World Cup. Second half has just started, people. (16-9) to Japan. Second half has started. I've got some very elaborate plans for the Rugby World Cup in France. Do tell. I only started watching rugby in 2011. Well, if the World Cup was on, that's a good reason to start. By the next World Cup, you're going to have that YouTube dough. Let's hope, man. I do have the YouTube pocket money at the moment. Let's hope YouTube pocket money. Whoa. Samoa line break. Let's hope the YouTube pocket money becomes more like YouTube dough over time. I can't complain, though. The YouTube dough has bought me the odd jersey and whatnot, so I cannot complain. Well, but my old man's last one, he could go, he's 79, but he's super fit. He'll be in his 80s. He went to 1985 South Africa. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Come to Helensville. What's in Helensville? Samoa's in their own 22. They're going to have to boot it away. Look at some merch. Yeah, I suppose. I used to get lots of free food sent to me when I was a blogger. Very little hard cash, but you love free things. Oh, totally the same with the jerseys and stuff, man. I've made far more in like jerseys than I have in money. But again, like people have been super generous to send me jerseys, flags, all kinds of stuff. So been very, very fortunate. Free food would be nice though as well. Pools countdown. That's it in Helensville. So a supermarket and swimming pools. Loving the Exeter Chiefs flag. I bet, man. You do realize there's a Saracens one's neck to it. Sorry to admit that. That being said, I don't have a Saracens or an Exeter jersey. Oh, did TJ just put in another late hit? Well, he's got to be careful with that. He's already had one yellow, but Samoa has just won a penalty. If you ever come Wellington, come to Cannons Creek. I was in Wellington for the Super Rugby quarterfinals. Didn't know about Cannons Creek. Yep, but the ref missed it. I feel like he did. That was about as late as the other one. Maybe a second sooner. Who has the ball now? Samoa are lining up a shot at goal. 37 meters out. It looks to be relatively straight in front because they want a breakdown penalty. What's with the Samoan numbers on their kits? They seem to be all peeling off. Yeah, that happens to teams every now and again. He has kicked it. He's having a good night with the boot. He's had one shocker, but other ones have been really good. This game is getting interesting for sure. My mum watched a bit of rugby with Richie McCaw in a pub in Wellington last year, the year before. She's a classic. Nice. Did she talk to him much? Bodie Barrett, the Blues. He's got a big job ahead of him to fix that team, and that's my team. He's having a better day than PC. I think he seems to be a better kicker than PC. That's reality. You're right. Yep, and somebody called it. Japan has just won a penalty themselves. Yeah, she set herself with some randoms who just happened to go to school with him. Nice. I once had the displeasure of watching a rugby game with Rocky Elsom in England. What's wrong with Rocky Elsom? Seems like a nice guy. Someone's number has actually come off. Yeah, I'm not sure if the numbers come off or that's a replacement jersey. Sometimes they get blood on their jerseys and then they have to wear one of the backups, and often the backup is either no number or like 24. My high school teacher is Dan Carter's cousin. I guess everybody's related to somebody, yeah. Does he get the kick? I have the displeasure of watching with Phil Kearns in commentary. That's unfortunate. He missed it. Come on. He can't miss this one. I have sat a few seats away from Grant Fox at a game. He did miss it. Yeah, I was telling to the guys, well, you probably were there, Jasmine, the other day that I sat like 5 seats down from Offa Fussy at an Auckland game in the Mitre 10 Cup earlier in the season. Before the All Black squad had been named, and he was eating some kind of like pie or sausage roll or something. And I was like, that's not the food of the elite athlete, but still, he's keeping it real. You have Shane Williams on commentary. That's not bad. Never seen a team win by penalty kicks before? Oh, it happens. It happens. I mean, I think World Cup final 2011 was only separated by penalties, right? No, I don't mind the spoilers, man. Well, this game is pretty tight, so if it gets really tight, I may look at the TV more and the chat a little bit less, but I guess we'll wait and see. Hmm. 2023 is a long way away, bro. I feel like I should be able to save money between now and then. That's 4 years. Japan have won another penalty. Good result for Scotland at the moment. You are not kidding, man. It's going pretty well. This is the same team that couldn't score a point against Samoa, right? Yeah, my third cousin. Probably disconnected somehow. I wonder if there was a Pure Dianti South Africa could have lost to New Zealand because Mpimpi was way bad. Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with a Pure Dianti. If Japan win this, do they go through to the knockouts? I think the only way they guarantee it at the moment is if they win this one and beat Scotland. But I have not done the calculations. That's just from the top of my head. $19 points to 12. Chris is not happy with the ref calling anything fast for Japan but slow for Samoa. You could be right. Ivalu's coming on. I am a New Zealand fan despite the shirts that I wear, bro, for Vicks. I have a lot of shirts. 1912, you're right. That is the same score that was the final one between Japan and Ireland. Come on, Ribsy. Don't do me like that. This game is still very, very hotly contested. There's nothing much in it. It was always going to be an interesting one. Like, if you beat Ireland, who came into this World Cup number one team in the world, should you be able to put Samoa away relatively easily? But Samoa are not making it easy at all. Samoa definitely needs to win this, that's for sure. You guys don't have to worry about donating money for the 2023 World Cup, man. That's miles away. Miles away. I feel like I should be able to save up money if I start planning now. Smaller teams can step up at World Cup time. Yeah, it's true. Like, how much of an upset would it be for Japan to get upset here, right? Maybe it's the size of the bum. What conversation is going on here, Charlotte? Some of you guys said try. Is that true? That maul looks like it's going at a rate of knots. It is a try. Who got it? Is that Jimeno? Jimeno. Yeah. He's been class. I'll give it to him. He has been excellent the whole Rugby World Cup. LJC, you're always on about the Pumas, man. What is the obsession with the Pumas? 2015 was Samoa's World Cup, but they bottled it. Maybe not a win, but a semi was on the cards, maybe. Why no players on the jerseys? That just seems to be a thing. They don't do Player names on the jerseys. Rugby seems different from other sports. He's converted it 26 to 12. That's starting to look pretty ominous for Samoa at this point. Worst Samoa team at a World Cup? I don't know. I mentioned it in the stream the other day, and I asked my mum for clarification. So my mum's boss, he has a son, and that son is the logistics manager for the Samoa rugby team. And apparently, he's having to drive throughout Japan to get these guys from games to games because they don't have the money to fly. So they're not doing it easy anyway, from what I've been told. It's all anecdotally. It's come from my mum's boss to my mum, well, from the son to my mum's boss to my mum to me. So there's a chance that information's gotten out of whack, but if those guys really have to drive everywhere, doesn't make life easy for them. Yeah, it seems not right for me as well. I would have thought that they would be covered by World Rugby, but when Samoa lost the other day to Scotland, my mother had a conversation with her boss, and he said it must be all that driving that's, affecting them. My mum asked more questions. That's what she was told. So again, I don't have any confirmation on that whatsoever, but if that's true, that seems like rubbish. The beer is the Heineken World Cup beer. It's a Samoa one. Is Samoa anywhere near the try line? They are 6 meters from the Japanese try line. They had gone through a bunch of phases but couldn't convert their opportunity, so they are back for a scrum, kind of a center field scrum. Samoa has the feed. They probably need to score here. Japanese scrum is holding up. Samoa needs to get the ball out, and they do. But they're going backwards. And it is a penalty. Should have chosen the line out. You might be right. I would have thought they would have traveled by train. I don't know, man. Don't have any details. Like I said, it's a story from a person. It's kind of like, my friend's friend told me. So I did Google the guy. I said, what's the name then? And I Googled the name, and it did come back as logistics manager for Samoa Rugby. So I was like, okay, well, at least there's some legitimacy to the story. Yeah, the Japan-Scotland game was pretty nicely set up by the itinerary. Scotland are definitely going to have to make a lot of changes between that Russia and that Japan game. Pool A won't make a semi-final, though. Interesting call. 60 minutes gone. Japan 26-12 up at the moment, but they are in their own half, trying to exit. Oh, nobody caught the ball for Samoa, but they have now and booted it back. So territorially, in this last little bit of play, Samoa are doing all right. And Matsushima is just putting a pretty average kick. So Samoa are going to have an attacking line out about 30 meters out. I'm going to the quarter. Want to be the ABs in Japan. That'd be a big game. I understand the funding thing. The Prime Minister needed a loan. No way. Is there any chance of Ireland not making the quarter final? I think it's still yet to be determined, but the fact that they got the losing bonus point against Japan could be important. Yeah, Ben, there's always talks about the money going funny places there, but I mean, I don't know how much truth there is in that. Oh, Japan are going to counterattack, but nope, they knocked the ball on. Ireland and Japan going to the quarters. Yeah, Scotland are going to have to do a job against Japan, otherwise I think they're in big trouble. I'll need to look at the table to see what the exact math says, but yeah. They've got it all to do, that's for sure. James Collins Clark. I honestly heard nothing about that case. That sounds pretty terrible, if true. What time is it where you are? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I think Japan-Scotland is a good sneaky bet for a draw. Japan, no. It's all they would need, and Scotland's attack sucks. Come on, they got Finn Russell. They got Hogg. They got lots of good players. It hasn't clicked yet. The only country where it's Sunday. Yes, it is already Sunday. "63 minutes gone. Japan still 26-12 up. Doesn't matter who you've got if you've got no strategy or plan. Yeah, Gregor Townsend has been getting a fair bit of grief for some of his decision making. Leach is going off. The bookies have got Japan to beat Scotland by 2 at the moment. Okay. Scotland have got a pretty great anthem, so they've got that. Some teams definitely have better anthems than others. Oh, Samoa with an attack, but they're put into touch. Whereas Tim Nana Williams, he went off for an HIA and never came back, so Fonatia stayed on. What do you think about London Welsh? Didn't London Welsh go bankrupt at some point? Or was that London Scottish? Forgive me, man. I'm not that au fait. Thanks for that, Charlotte. You're answering that on my behalf. Man, the intensity of this game is still there after 65 minutes. Samoa are still fighting, and Japan still know they need to keep going because if they let off, they're going to be in trouble. I'm sure there was like a London Welsh, London Irish, and London Scottish, right? I'm sure one of them went bankrupt. You're going to make me Google this during a World Cup game? Well, maybe it's a football club. Oh, no. Rugby Union Club. There you go. It's a thing. Not dreaming. Russia is actually doing good this World Cup. I agree. They have not disgraced themselves at all. I thought they would be getting a fair few hidings in that pool, but they've been doing quite good. John King, you did your best, mate. Well, it's close, man. It is close. I mean, it's still 26-12. John is looking pretty comfortable for Japan, but they're far from running away with this one, and Samoa are giving them a good run. Are you finished with work now, John? Cheers for that, man. You're being far too kind today. You must be having a good day. Oh, Lapis Labiskakni went on a line break but couldn't quite get it done. London Welsh went bankrupt. Okay, good. I wasn't dreaming that one either. Irish are in the Premiership and Scottish are in the Championship. Okay. Yeah, London Irish just got promoted this year, right? Because Newcastle got relegated. I picked 26-18 to Japan. No way. You're not far off so far, Jasmine. Samoa 18 is like two blokes duct taped together. I'll have to keep an eye out. Is there a London English? I think it's called Saracens. How do you get a losing bonus point? You need to lose by 7 points or less. So at the moment, Samoa is not getting one. Ooh, Japan trying to run it out of their 22. My stupid husband said to thank you for legitimizing his midday drinking. Did it for you? I'm still not sure. He's all good. Don't worry about him. It's a weekend. He's all good. Tell him he's welcome. He's a good man. Don't do it on a work day, I would say. It would be my advice. If we give the Samoans a few more years, we can probably do something, because in the first few years, the Jaguares were terrible. Now look what they are. Harlequins are in London too. Good point. Oh, Samoa are not too far away. They are inside the Japanese 22. 5 phases. They've got advantage. And they've dropped the ball. Japan have forced it back, but they're going back for the penalty. John says, finished your work. Just appreciate the efforts. Oh, that's all good, man. That's all good. It's a late finish for you. It's a late finish for me as well, man. He works from home a lot. Okay. Maybe the sitting on the floor thing is not a good plan for 2 games in a row, huh? Saracens is London, South Africa. Well, Brad Barrett, South African, right? It is 26-12, 69 minutes gone. Jamie Joseph is looking slightly uncomfortable in the coach's box. Samoa have a penalty inside the Japanese 22. They are not taking the 3 because they're that far behind. They are kicking for touch. And he puts it out, looks to be about 6 meters from the try line. Just floor picnic for the rugby. Glad I'm not the only one. Big line out here for Samoa. 6 meters out. They need to score. Big time. And they got advantage as well. They're going to come back for the penalty. Fonatia did play for the Crusaders. You are correct. Harry is doing well in Superbird. Good one, man. I'm doing pretty ordinary, to be fair. Do you think we should force the Barrett parents to have more kids? I think they're getting a bit old to have any more kids, to be honest. Try time, people are saying. Okay, I will watch this line out with interest. Again, this one's a 5-meter jobby. Line out. Taken. It's a sweet little line out move. There's an offload, but the Japanese defense is swarming. You're trying to tell me there's a try from this? Ooh, that's a big drive. 1 meter out. Wow. That is indeed a try. And it's the guy who's been kicking all the goals, Teafu. They did well in the lead up to keep that ball alive. So you get the kick? Does 26-19. Confirmed try. Yeah, man, it's 26-19. Yes, we can just block spammers. I should probably just get the bot to do it, to be honest. You can get a bot which does it for you when people repeat nonsense. So I might do that for next time. We will see. 5 minutes to go. 26-19. And no, that's not the real G-Man. Different profile picture. Wow, Japan are now only 3 meters from the Samoan line. This game's one of the best games of the Cup, surely. Five phases they've gone. Some of you said try. I wouldn't be surprised. Tanaka is looking for options. They got a man over. Oh, he drew the defender just enough. Is that Fukuoka? It is. Japan. That's the move of a big team, to be under pressure and to go back and score instead of crumbling. Man, this is a good game. The thumbnails spoil the results. If you're gonna not watch the games live, you need to avoid all social media and internet entirely. I do the same thing. Sometimes I watch the games the next morning. I don't look at YouTube. I don't look at Twitter. I don't look at Facebook. As soon as you look, spoilers are right there. Maporo says, woohoo, Japan. Would be awesome if they could top Pool A and play South Africa again, supporting a trip to France. That's France 2023. I appreciate that, man. I think I am done with beers for the night, but I will open the LMP for one little drink before I go to bed and do my review. Thank you, Maporo. I will start saving some pennies for that trip to France for 2023. I'll need to get myself a whole lot of internet if I'm going to be doing videos. Cheers, mate. 3 minutes to go. It's 31-19 to Japan. Also, Japan automatically qualify, right, for 2023. Isn't it just whoever finishes third in the pool gets automatic qualification? Man, Lemecki got man of the match. He was on fire in the first half, and I guess helped set up that last try. If Japan score here, the All Blacks will be playing Ireland. (31-19), 78 minutes. Oh, LNP. Sorry, did I not make that clear? LNP, yeah, lemon and pyro. It's a New Zealand kind of lemonade drink. Japanese mall is driving closer and closer. It's like the whole team is mauling it. And it goes down. And it's a scrum to Samoa. Wow. No, for sure. Scotland can still beat Japan. It's not crazy they're good, but Scotland can do it. Yes. Yeah, I still think things depend on that last result. I'll need to look at the table to see what the exact possibilities are. Japan will play South Africa if they beat Scotland. Yes, if Japan beats Scotland, they definitely go through top of the pool, and they definitely play the runner-up of Pool B, which looks like it will be South Africa, because Italy got smashed. Samoa lost terribly to Scotland. Yeah, Scotland did a pretty good job over Samoa in their game. That's true. Time has already hit 80 minutes. I've been to France to 07, England to 2015, the Lions tour for South Africa. You've been around the blocks, man. I've been to Sydney for a Waratahs game. How's that? Not quite the same, eh? I went to Wellington for a Hurricanes game. Dunedin for a Highlanders game. Ireland are on 11 points. Japan on 9 points. Scotland on 5 points. Japan have never beaten Scotland. Japan has never beaten Ireland until very recently. South Africa had never beaten Japan until very recently, so it'd be an interesting one. I went to Waikato for a Chiefs game. Woof, that was interesting. I also went to Hamilton for a Chiefs game. Oh, man. Japan just won a free kick at scrum time? They're calling a scrum. Jeez, is this game ever going to end? If Japan get a bonus point, it'll take them to 14 points. I saw the Blues in Whangarei a while back too, actually. Now I think about it. Man, even I've never been to a rugby game in Whangarei. Did the Blues... That must have been a warm-up game, right? They don't play the regular season games in Whangarei. Thanks once again, John, bro. You're most welcome. I appreciate your support as always, too. It is 120. It's going to be a tense ending. I'm not looking at the chat. I refuse. Scrum penalty. They're going to want to scrum again. That Japanese scrum was going very quickly forward. What's the score? It's 31-19 to Japan. It's 83 minutes gone. Japan are going for one more try. I can see the stream clicking over, which makes me think there might be a try. Japan are setting a scrum 5 meters out from the Samoan line. The last scrum was pretty much on wheels. Here they go again. This one a lot more stable. Jimeno's got to move it. Oh, they stopped him. Matsushima, he got it. Oh, my. Wow. Wow. It took till 84 minutes. 2 big scrums. Who else but Matsushima, eh? Wow. Samoa give them a hell of a fright. That's true, but just too much. Nobody wants to play Japan, including New Zealand. In Japan looked like a pretty tough prospect, that is for sure. Wow. Listen to the crowd. They are going crazy. Now Jamie Joseph is looking a lot happier than he was before. The World Cup is alive. The score is 36-19. Some of you guys will be able to tell me if he converts this or not. It doesn't really matter. You reckon this Japanese team beats the Wallabies? Oh, I don't know, Ribsy. I don't know. 38, does he get it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it will be 38. Off the post and through. Another in off. Hey, there's been a few of those this World Cup. I'm going to trust you guys and write that one down. In off. When it's going for you, it's going for you. Wow. Big result. Very big result. Man, they got it done, but Samoa did not make that easy for them. That game was kind of going the way I thought it might. I thought Samoa really might give them trouble, and they did. But in the end, Japan were just able to pull away. But man, did they have to work for it. Good game. Pretty happy with that. Pretty happy. All right. Time to end the stream. Quick review. 1:25 a.m. So by 2 o'clock, I should be in bed. That'll be nice. Less sleeping tomorrow. Sunday sleeping. Yeah. Definitely best game of the day. Probably worth staying up for sure, eh? Cheers, guys, for being with me for this one. I'm going to head off, get my stuff done, and head off to bed. So you guys have a good evening, morning, lunch, wherever you're at. April, hope your husband has fun drinking the beer. But yeah, thank you all, and I will talk to you guys again for the next one. See you later, team. See you later. Good night.